for Machiavelli, and I don't understand any of the reference points at all. I've got no fucking idea what he's on about. It's fantastic. Oh, coming back. Anyway, your final act of the evening.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The headliner.
Yeah.
You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. This is not. This is Neuroses.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
The 22nd of June, 1995. A day of infamy, a day of horror, a day of nightmares. The day I went to Disneyland Paris. A mere child was not capable of understanding what I saw that day. The sun shone bright and the wind blew soft through the stronghold of merchandising whores. My mother held my hand through crowds of morbidly obese couples and their amorphous children. I spot a merry-go-round. Mummy, please let me ride the ponies, I would shout. You look like a twat, she'd say. We walked down the town square on our way to ride a pirate ship, when all of a sudden I saw a hideous monstrosity. A mouse 7 feet high, with an enormous, unnatural grin, and huge empty black eyes staring through mine and upon my very soul. It spoke to me. Hello, little boy! I shat! I ran away in terror. My mother screamed after me. I cried and cried and cried until suddenly I realized I didn't know where I was. I'd run through some alleyway and reached a big heavy door. And for reasons that I may never know, I entered. I was drawn in further by a distant sound, like a mass of heavy breathing. It was coming from behind a large screen door. I couldn't help it. I just walked towards it, like a moth to a flame, like a socially awkward person to a DVD box set. I approached it, looked around, and saw to my shock that people had amassed in this space, removed their clothing, and were fucking each other's brains out! Titties and bollocks swinging all over the place, flabby buttocks rattling, and sweaty skin shimmering in a spaghetti-like mound. I knew who they were. It must have been those wandering actors who go out there in the big suits. It must have been them, I could tell. They kept their cartoon heads on. Eel was riding Tigger, Goofy was fucking Pluto, Mickey was taking Minnie up the arse, and Donald Duck was just wanking over everybody. It was horrible, but I couldn't look away. Who could look away from 69-ing chipmunks? Oh. I had no idea Winnie the Pooh had a vagina. Oh my God. I mean, sure, I know it as a woman now, but... Eventually, Goofy noticed me and walked over. Oh, he was the worst of all. Big goofy head atop a lanky, pale body and an erection you could hide in a tennis ball. I punched him in the dick and ran off again. I was eventually found underneath a kiosk with a popcorn bag over my head. Now, since then, I've always had this morbid fascination with masks and costumes. Now, despite how I'm dressed, I'm not really a tough guy. Tough guys don't dress like this. Have you ever seen a Clint Eastwood film? He never dressed up in this shit. Looking like this does not come from a deeply troubled mind. It just comes from being a lonely guy with a warped imagination and too much free time. For me, getting on stage like this, dressed like this, and doing these stories to make you laugh, it's a vice, it's an inner urge that needs to be satisfied. I imagine it's similar to what other people experience who want to be like transvestites or into BDSM or murder. I like to take the stage and read your faces as you see me. It's funny, but I can't do this too much. When I do it too much, it sort of starts to lose that significance that it has to it. It doesn't bring me quite as much of that warming, sort of pleasing gratification that it otherwise gives me. So, I sort of imagine everyone has that kind of feeling. Like maybe it's brought on by alcohol or weed or sex or murder. I like 3 of those things. But I also like to express myself. I believe we've all got to do that. Just be true to what our real feelings and what we really want to do, and be unafraid about it. So, like some for instance, like homosexuals. Some homosexuals are in the closet. I was in the closet myself, but I had to get out of there. It was full of gays. So, whether it's just if it's just confiding those kind of feelings into one person, or to do it in front of a whole crowd at once. To go through life with no outward identification as an individual, that is insane. That is the sign of a deeply troubled mind. But still, seeing Buzz Lightyear getting fisted by a genie is damn close. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Neuroses. My real name is Robbie, but still, this is me. Thank you.
Yeah!